game like this. Coach brought us all in yesterday, said it's a new season. We're 0-0. It's a whole new season. We messed up the conference schedule, but our eyes are set on March.
Arkansas dribbling this one out in a must-win situation. The Razorbacks get it done at home, 92-85, beating the 15th ranked team in the country, Missouri Tigers.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Monday, February 24th, 2025. The weather should be very good today. Slowly but surely it got better over the weekend. And so we've seen improvement. We're getting rid of that icy cold weather, the snow and the ice that has been dogging us for the past several weeks. And hopefully now it's going to be much better. I know there'll probably be some kind of cold blast coming up in March or something that I'm not expecting. But looking at the week ahead right now, think back to when it was minus 11. Think back to when it was snowing. Think back to that terrible ice storm. And now look forward to a high of today around 60, a high of tomorrow around 65, a high of Friday near 68. Now we're talking. I'm seeing all 50s and 60s for the highs this week. I'm seeing maybe a couple of lows in the 30s. Now that I can operate in this weather. My sweet spot is, and you know this if you listen to the show, probably, 60. 60 is the perfect spot for me. I'll go 50, 55. I was feeling good. I don't know what it is right now, but I was feeling damn good this morning. In the 40s, I'm good. But get to the 50s and the 60s, sunroof open. You wear a hoodie, you wear short sleeves, you wear short pants, you can do whatever you want. It's all on the table when you get to the 50s and the 60s. So I'm very excited about this, and hopefully we'll get all of the snow and ice melted off the ground. And I know there's going to be, at some point, there's going to be some rain maybe. And so a nice mixture of rain with this warmer weather could clean up the streets. And that, I think, would make everyone very, very happy. And then we can move forward with our lives. Get back to some walking weather, get out and go for some nice walks. Not have to get up and check Google Maps to see how long your commute will be delayed because of the snow or ice. That's always fun. I would get up, I'd set a special alarm around 3:45 or so, and then just push work and to see how long it would be compared to normal. The worst one, because normally, like I said, it's about 35 minutes, give or take, about 35. And I think I don't know if it was one of the snow days or maybe it would have been the ice day, work. 1 hour and 2 minutes. Wait a minute. What the hell's going on here? And so don't have to do that now. So that's got me in a good mood. That's terrific. Drake unnecessarily played Mizzou Arkansas highlights. Didn't ask for that, but he gave them to us. But there they are.
Well, I had to do that to justify playing my Drake highlight.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Drake, with a roster loaded with Kansas City kids, wins a share of the conference title. So congratulations. There you go. Enjoy. I'm not being a jerk. I'm just being realistic. Enjoy Ben McCollum, because
that's what happens with good coaches at Drake.
Right. I'm not even sure good is enough to describe him. See, it's so fun because he's the nation is just finding out about him this year, but we've sat and watched him win over and over and over again, right, in Northwest Missouri State, and we just kept wondering, when's he going to jump and where's he going to jump? Because and there's been no bigger champion of his than C.J. Moore, who will be on the show a little bit later. And when you're in that situation, it's always very interesting to me to see how a coach handles it, because you don't want to jump just because it's a D1 job. You don't want to jump just because they're offering you a big raise. You want to jump, especially when it's your first time taking a D1 job. You'd like to be able. Sometimes you don't have a choice, but you'd like to be able to go somewhere that you could be successful. And to your point, Drake has shown that they are a very good basketball program that can generate good coaches. And so, and they were good already, right? And that was a perfect spot in the Midwest. That was a perfect spot for him to land. But now he's already. I had somebody. I retweeted that last night about them winning, and I think might want to check the math. But I think 6 KC kids on the roster. Does that sound right? Nate seems shocked by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, root for them in the tournament. But I posted that. I retweeted Harold Kuntz and his information about that. And somebody was from some Iowa. Next coach of Iowa. So there's already teams that are demanding him to be hired. So, but that's exciting. Nate doesn't seem to care, but I sure do.
There's a kid from Wichita on the team.
Sure do, Drake.
I don't know where Nixa, Missouri is.
Close enough.
It's down near Springfield, Joplin.
Okay.
We claim him. It's Missouri, buddy.
Yep. Obviously, there's. I mean, I'm looking. There's a kid from KC Mo, kid from Independence, kid from KC Mo, Wichita, Nixa, Liberty, Plattsburgh, Missouri.
This isn't local enough for you?
Overland Park.
You know where that is?
I know this kid. Amazing.
How do you know him?
Well, a friend of a friend, but
No. You're at the grocery store. He walks by. Hello, Mr. Bucati. Do you know him?
no, I know his family.
Okay. That's
Blue Valley Northwest, from our neighborhood. Joey Mattioni, freshman, 6'8".
so if he's in there, would you say, hey, Joey, how are you?
No, he would. I don't know that Joey would recognize me.
All right.
And then another kid from Springfield. So I mean, man, yeah, all kinds
know
of
him?
kids from. I don't know anybody from Springfield. I don't think. Well, not very many anyway. No.
I'll go a step further here. Staley,
Yep.
that's the Northland buddy.
Yep.
William Chrisman,
Mm-hmm.
that's an arch rival of Todd Lebo, buddy. You know that?
I know that. Yeah. That's.
Todd still root for him. The straight out Liberty High School.
Mm-hmm.
I know the name Bennett Sturts.
See. He knows you.
Probably. Like you said, Plattsburgh, Blue Valley Northwest, Willard. See? There's your non-Kansas team to root for, which means in the second round of the tournament, Drake versus Kansas. Let me tell you something. You don't want that.
No.
You seen that team play?
I haven't watched Drake play yet this year. No. So I need to get on that.
What I would say is ask K-State about that.
Well.
And they would tell you to pass on the opportunity. I saw him that one bracketology where they had him, I think, facing Missouri in the second round. I'm like, who knew? I mean, I'll play, whatever. I'm not going to, but I would I'd rather not. It's just one of those, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those schools that, unbelievably, they went 11 of 15 from 3, and they just couldn't miss. And
I got to see them at T-Mobile Center earlier this year when they played K-State, I don't get to see my team in person very often. It was funny because I had my Drake gear on, and I kept seeing all these other Drake fans. And I was like, "Hey, class of '95," and they were like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're Drake," and no, we're just Ben McCollum fans. We just bought these shirts. I was like, "Oh,
Well,
okay."
Hey,
But you loved it anyway. Overtime victory, right?
I did.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to Drake.
15-3 in the league.
Yeah.
How come they're not ranked?
Who knows? Who knows about these rankings?
Got wins over Vanderbilt, K-State in the non-con, Miami.
Well, they're headed to the tournament, so
Ken Palm has him right around 60.
yeah. Really?
That's surprising.
At least it's where they were on Friday.
No. On Saturday, Kansas got back in the win column, and they did what they were supposed to do against Oklahoma State. Missouri lost to Arkansas, and that wasn't totally unexpected. I tried to warn people on Friday that was not going to be an easy game because Arkansas is a talented team and is desperate for wins to try to solidify their spot in the NCAA tournament. And while Mizzou was beating Alabama the other night, they were going toe-to-toe with Auburn at Auburn. And so, should Mizzou win the game? Probably. And they were in control at halftime. But then Arkansas went on this stretch because, again, sometimes you just have to tip your cap to the other team. We focus so much on what a team does wrong when they lose instead of what the other team does right when they win. Arkansas went through this 5-minute game stretch where they just would not miss. They would not miss from three. They just would not and could not miss. Now, I'm not going to tell you that Missouri played the best brand of defense that I've ever seen, and they were giving up some open threes in transition. But you have to credit Arkansas because they hit shot after shot after shot, and they turned like a 7-point deficit into, I think it got up to 11, and then Mizzou fought back. And, they had that opportunity, I want to say it was 40 seconds left or so. It was under a minute, but there was still time. And they were down 6, I want to say. And Arkansas was inbounding the ball under their own basket, and they got the steal. They tipped it away, got it, and they fed it to Caleb Grill, who was wide open. And at that point, I think he was 2 of 11 from 3. And I get it, people were mad that he kept taking threes, but I go with what he's done for the season. And at some point, he's going to hit one. And I kept thinking, he's going to hit one at some point. And he had 2 or 3 opportunities to cut that lead down to 3 or 4 and to really make it tight at the end, and he kept missing them. But then it's steal, pass, wide open 3, and in front of the rim. Oh, my God, he missed another one. But I'm not mad at him. I know Gates wants him to keep shooting, and that guy's been money all season long. And I'm going to go with what's happened all season long. And look, at that point, beggars can't be choosers. You're looking for the best open shot. They needed a 3, and he was right there. I don't want Caleb Grill getting a pass wide open and I'm cold today. I'm going to, no. Missed it, but that's the way that's the way stuff happens.
The only way to get yourself out of a slump is to shoot your way out of it.
But it was an infuriating loss. As I sat, and I again, it is, I will openly admit this, it is a huge mistake for me to watch games in public. A gigantic mistake. Even when they win. It's just not. unless I go to the game. Like I've pretty much taken watching Mizzou football off the table in public because that just doesn't. I did that watch party at Nick and Jake's and against Oklahoma, and it was such an emotional roller coaster. I'm quite sure that anyone seeing me thought this guy, there's something wrong with him. Look at him. I put my head down on the table. I get down on one knee, and just because you remember how that Oklahoma game ended.
Yeah,
that was a spectacular finish, and it put me through the ringer. I definitely don't like watching Chiefs games in public, but I didn't. It was out of necessity because Richie and the band that he's in, Dola White, they were playing at like 9:30 at the Landing in Liberty, and the game time was at 7, and you got to get there to get a spot early, and so I had the dumbass idea because Selena in the JV St. Pius girls basketball team had a game at Oak Park at 3. And I said, oh, okay, we'll take her to her game, watch her game, and then get her and her sister something to eat and take them home. And then me and Mama, let's go to the Landing, and we'll get there about 6:45, and we'll get a seat, and then we'll watch the Missouri game, and then we'll go right into Dola White. Didn't that sound great? Theoretically, it did. We got there, no seats. And then I think it was the LSU game was on and wouldn't end. And so they couldn't get, like Missouri was on ESPN News and they couldn't, whatever. So then I'm watching it on my phone. And then a very nice listener who was leaving his table recognized me and offered me his table as he and his wife left. And that was very nice. Thank you, sir. And so we sat down, and then we start watching the Mizzou game, and it's just the Landing's a fine place to watch a game, but it's not enjoyable for me to do that in public because I'm hearing other things, and I hear, non-Missouri fans making wise-ass comments, and then this and that, and then I get distracted, and it was, And then I start cussing, and I shouldn't cuss in public like that, and I slammed my hand on the table a couple times when Mizzou had turnovers, and then they lost. And I was sad. But then Richie played, and I was happy. And he came over, towards the end of the game, and he even saw, he goes, going through it over here, huh? I said, yeah. Yeah, I am. Because it was, it would have been great if it was like, hey, Mizzou's up by 10. Whee! Let's have another round. No. But it's fine.
Hey,
they lose 92-85. And again, if you're sitting there trying to do mental gymnastics, why did Mizzou lose? Caleb Grill, 2 of 12 from 3. That won't happen very often. And he missed some big ones, let me tell you. And then the other thing, this guy is not a star of the team, but he plays his role. Josh Gray did not play due to illness. And he's a big 7-footer who eats up space, is a good rebounder, and is just a physical presence down low. And what really made me mad a couple of times was there were and Mizzou did fine rebounding, right? But just they just need his rim protection, right? But there were a couple of times in the second half when Arkansas built their lead, and it just kills you. Second and third chance, and there's one because there was 4 chances, Unbelievable. Another offensive rebound. I can't believe it. What effort by Arkansas. I'm like, sometimes you just need that big guy in the middle. And they missed him. Now, he plays his role, but he's an important guy to the team. And when he was out, I go, oh, it's going to be a problem. He doesn't light up the box score. He doesn't score that often. He's terrible at free throws. But every now and again, he'll get you 9 or 10 rebounds, but he's just a physical presence. And it changes things. You know that.
Yeah,
Big guy in
even
the
if he's
middle,
not the one to get the
right.
rebound, sometimes it keeps the other guy from getting the rebound,
But
whatever.
just being
Yeah.
there, he alters things
Yeah.
for the opposition. So those are my two big reasons why. And also, Arkansas played very well. But Missouri can come home now, and I hate to say that because I don't want to jinx anything, but they should get a little bit of a breather in the next game, hosting South Carolina, but then back-to-back games against teams that need to win. At Vanderbilt, which would be, I think, similar to this Arkansas game, Vandy needs a win, and at Oklahoma, who, boy, I wish I could get a hold of Lebo. He declared them dead, but they beat Mississippi State over the weekend, and so now their bubble hopes are alive and kicking. So now Mizzou's got to go to 2 bubble teams and play on the road. Hopefully they'll split or something and then finish against Kentucky at home. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about Kansas winning, get Nate's thoughts on that. But, boy, if you missed it, K-State played yesterday. Oh, that's a bad loss. That one will leave a mark. When we're talking about NCAA tournament hopes, that one was bad. We'll talk about it after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to the show. Did you take anything away from KU's blowout victory over Oklahoma State?
Sure. A little confidence, little positivity, something that they desperately needed. We talked last week that there wasn't much you could learn from winning this game because Oklahoma State's not very good. But the fact that KU won by 32 points and dominated the game does say something to me, because they've had a couple, like the last time, for example, when they played Colorado. They won that game, but it wasn't impressive. I mean, even Bill Self after the game was like, wasn't a very good performance. We won the game, but it wasn't anything that made you encouraged. So I'm not going to claim that everything's fixed for KU just because they blew out Oklahoma State, but as bad as things looked after that trip in Utah, and Self saying after the game, we need some time away from each other. Clearly the team bonding did not go well in Utah. We need some time away. We need to try to reset. Those comments that Drake put in the open from Hunter Dickinson about hitting the reset button and, look, we screwed up the conference, but we can still do something in March. Maybe they can get on the same page, because the thing that's been so vexing about this Kansas team is we've seen them beat really, really good teams this year. We know they're capable of playing good basketball. But as the season's gone on, they seem to get worse and worse. And the chemistry seemed to get worse and worse. And the effort level seemed to get worse and worse. I told you last week, I'm skeptical that you can just turn that around with the snap of a finger, a couple of good practices where everybody gets along. But maybe sometimes you got to hit rock bottom before you start to bounce back up. And maybe if they get a couple of wins in a row, as we talked about, they can build some self-confidence. They've got Colorado tonight. I know that Jake disagreed with me, but I don't think this game is a gimme tonight. Colorado's actually won 2 of 3 after, what were they, 0-13 in the league? They beat Baylor. They'll have I think they said it's going to be their first sellout crowd in 3 years at home.
You picking Colorado? No,
I'm not. Kansas is like a 6.5-point favorite. That doesn't make them like an overwhelming favorite, right? That doesn't make them like, oh, this game's just
that means it's a sure thing.
Money in the bank, right? So I do think they can show something tonight. If they can back up what they did on Saturday with a good performance tonight and get a win, maybe they can develop a little bit of momentum, and maybe they can get back to being the type of team they need to be, because their last 3 games are tough. They've got Texas Tech, at Houston, and Arizona State.
Jake's going to be at the Texas Tech game.
Oh, boy.
Jake doesn't go to many games.
Maybe Mahomes will be there.
That's what I told him, and then he got excited. So
yeah. So he probably won't.
Mm-hmm. As for Kansas State,
is Jake working the game, or is he going as a fan?
He's taking a group. He's leading a group.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I know about that trip.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
He's leading a group.
Well,
the group should be leading him. To
God
be
bless
with
them.
Kansas State, they lose at home yesterday to Arizona State. Coleman Hawkins didn't play because of a knee injury. He hurt the knee against Utah, and so he misses this game. That's one problem. But here's the other problem. The Sun Devils are not very good. They had lost 6 in a row, and they had lost 11 of their last 13. You can't, if you're trying to make the NCAA tournament, you can't lose that at home. You can't. Can you?
No.
You think you can?
I don't think so.
Not to a team that lost 6 in a row and 11 of the last 13. And on top of that, I mean, Arizona State led wire to wire. So now K-State has lost 3 in a row following their 6-game win streak that followed their 6-game losing streak. They shot a season-low 33% from the field. And now they got to go on the road. And it's just, I thought this was a must-win, and so now they can't. They sure as hell can't lose anymore. Now they play at UCF. I can't say they should win that game because they should have won this one. I mean, Arizona State was 3-12 in the conference, and they're playing them in Manhattan. You can't ask for a softer touch than that. They'll host Colorado. Then they play at Cincy and home against Iowa State. But I don't like. I don't know if the damage has already been done. We'll ask CJ Moore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now, like even if they won out, how much do they have to do in Kansas City?
Yeah, to me, you're just trying to get above 500.
But that's a damaging loss.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, they've been a streaky team, man. Max Jones went 0 for 7 from 3. Doug McDaniel went 0 for 5 from 3. That's a tough combination to you're gonna try to win a game. So it's been weird with K-State. I do think, as much as a flashpoint of conversation Coleman Hawkins has been, I think that was it did illustrate how much they still need him being out, and the performance they put up
Right.
yesterday. Even if he's not your go-to player and he's not the kind of star that people think he should be.
They clearly needed him.
They needed him.
No, he's had some good moments. Okay. So now let's move on to something exciting. And I promised myself I'm not going to go over the top about this guy. I'm going to keep it reserved and keep it even keeled. We're not going to get crazy until it's time to get crazy.
Oh boy.
Yesterday in the Royal spring training game, their phenom prospect Jack Caglione clobbered a 435-foot home run. He's the Royals' top prospect. He's number 22 in baseball, according to MLB Pipeline's Top 100. 115.4 miles per hour exit velocity, and it went 435 feet. And those numbers, they may not mean much to some fans out there that don't pay attention to those numbers and those analytics, but by God, let me tell you, that was something special. I've got a couple tweets that I reposted. That was very exciting. Then I reposted the video as well at SSJWHB. Ian Kraft posted the home run was clocked at 115.4 miles per hour. This home run would have been the third hardest hit home run in the StatCast era by a Royals player. So that's since 2015. It's not, but that 10 years.
That means
10 years.
Yeah.
Name the two Royals that have harder hit home runs since 2015.
Jorge Soler,
Yeah. Who's the other one?
Bobby Witt Jr.
No, get in on this, Drake. Come on.
Somebody unlikely?
No, he's likely, but he won't be on the tip of your tongue. When I say it, you go, oh, because I feel like this guy, his short time with the Royals is somewhat forgotten and underappreciated. But man, for a short time, he was a mother. He was tough. He was just what the Royals needed.
Tommy Pham.
No, it's go back to. You gotta go back.
Not Kendrys Morales.
Yeah,
Okay. I was like,
that's exactly right.
I was trying to remember.
Yeah,
He was on the 15 team, not the 14 team, right?
Kendrys Morales. How do you remember him?
As the most underrated hitter on that World Series team. Like maybe the best hitter on the team.
He doesn't get
Yeah, that's why
I don't think people mention him enough.
Yeah. No,
when
he
we
was
talk
huge.
about that.
Huge for that offense.
Let me take you a walk. I'll walk you down memory lane real quick. In 2015, and remember, they needed that offense after 14.
Yeah.
Your boy, just think about how much they could use this in the lineup. He hit 290 with a 362 on base, a 485 slug, 22 home runs, 106 ribbies, 41 doubles, a couple triples, and an 847 OPS. Remember against the Astros in Game 5? Like, okay, then. And then in 2016, they didn't go to the playoffs, but still, he hit 30 bombs in 2016. He had 93 ribbies. Step back a little bit as far as OPS 795, but still that play right now, you give me a guy with around an 800 OPS and hit 30 bombs, add him to the lineup. Because remember, their offense, there was a lot of holes in it in 2014. And they added him, and he mashed. And so, yes, Soler, September 4th, 2019, hit 115.7 miles per hour. And then Morales, on June 30th, 2016, hit 115.6 miles per hour. And then yesterday, Jack Caglione hit 115.4 miles per hour. Hey. That's not me trying to hype him up
Yeah.
That's just what he did.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. That doesn't happen very often. I just gave you the example. That's one of those deals, and I was watching when he hit that and the video came out and then the numbers came out, prospect people all over were like, did everyone see this? Ooh. MLB.com's got him as the top first base prospect in baseball. But you could just, the oohs and ahs, not from Royals Twitter, from prospect, all these guys, because that gets people all, soft and gooey. Sorry. You know what I mean?
Is that right?
I'm wearing a Royals hat for a reason. You just don't, you just, you don't just gloss past that.
Well, it's a
Good
tool.
God.
Yeah.
It's
a tool. He's got that in there.
like, easy, buddy. Hold on now.
He's not a threat to make the team.
No. That's why. But once he gets down to wherever they put him and putting up numbers, it's on.
Yeah.
What you see other teams. I will not hesitate to demand his ass up at Kauffman Stadium.
One
and
good
I will
month
do
in
it.
Double-A, you're going to be like, get this.
It's not happening at spring training. There's nothing you can do. Right. You give me about a month down there, and you will hear it from me every day. And I'm not ashamed to say that. And will I be ahead? Yes. Because I'd rather be ahead of the curve than behind. I will demand that he gets called up. And if I see this Royals team struggling to score runs, and he's in there banging shots left to right, hell yes, I will. Why not? Why won't I? It's what I do. Just give me a reason. Yesterday he gave me a reason. I'm like, slow down, buddy. This is just first week of spring training. We can't get into that yet. Take me on a date first. Give me to dinner. You're moving
Take you to Red Lobster.
You're moving way too fast for me. And this ain't no high school kid where you can't can't expect him to come up for a couple years. He's a college kid. You can demand him this year if you so choose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
You've seen college kids come up quick.
Yes. I'm
if
just not trying to
if
put
he's
that.
If he's not operating at a high level, I'm not going to call for him.
Because he didn't really play. He didn't hit great last year, right?
Fine.
Like an A ball. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to, putting a wet
But if
blanket
he
on
gets things rolling,
Yeah.
it's different with a college kid than a high school kid.
He's 22 years old.
Yeah. He's 18. You're like, okay, we'll see you when you're 20, buddy, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
You can't even, But if you're 22 and
You can buy booze.
oh, come on. If you can buy booze, you can play at Coffin Stadium. Okay. And I'm not doing that now. But I'm taking notice.
Yeah.
I saw that. I had a tweet right at him. Like, hey, I saw that.
Yeah. Hey,
we trying to
watching
hide
you.
nothing from me.
Yeah.
We saw that back in Kansas City. Because that's not normal.
Well, no,
That's
I mean,
not normal.
Yeah, like not everybody can hit the ball that hard.
MLB.com just like, oh, listen, make him the number one first base prospect with a helmet. Well, they know what they're talking about. And everyone's got him in the top 30, top 25. That's blue chip prospect. Get excited about it. Watch him in spring. Love it. All right?
Yeah.
Let's take a break now.
You all right?
Nope. I need some water. Back after this on WHB. Welcome back to the show. We should have our full lineup of baseball coverage starting this week. All of our regulars. And so today, we'll have a little bit of everything. We'll start with some football with Pete Sweeney from Arrowhead Pride and get his thoughts as the NFL Combine, yes, is right around the corner, and see what he thinks about the Chiefs and any possible moves they'll be making within the roster as far as retaining free agents or letting them go. And Andy Reid speaks, I think, tomorrow. Do I sound certain about that? It's in other times. Maybe not. We'll talk to Pete Sweeney about that.
For some reason, my biggest image of Andy Reid at the Combine was back when Doris was there, bringing him the sandwich while they're sitting in the booth.
Yeah, why not?
And Reid's looking like, oh, about time.
What's wrong with that? No, Pete said Andy Reid will speak to media members in Indianapolis at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, and Brett Veach will follow around 11:15 a.m.
Veach.
So we'll hear from those two tomorrow. That's good.
Love hearing from Andy Reid, but I love hearing from Veach even more, especially around stuff like this.
So here we go, Combine. So it wasn't just Caglione who hit the home run yesterday. Another Royals prospect went deep. And so it was a good day for the Royals yesterday. They won 4-3. And so also Carter Jensen, the catching prospect, went deep. And so keep your eyes on him as well.
That was a hard hit ball too, wasn't it?
Yes. I want to say that was 109. Is that right?
It was definitely.
Where did I see that?
110, I remember.
Where did you see that? Where did I see
I
that?
was scrolling through Twitter last night. I don't remember.
Why is that in my head? Because I agree. I know I saw it. It was. Oh, here we go. MLB Pipeline's number 86 prospect in the top 100, Carter Jensen, smoked the ball earlier in the game, sending an elevated fastball 416 feet to right field with an exit velocity of 109.1. How about that?
He's only 21 years old.
I'll take it. We're for a while there when we weren't seeing any top 100 prospects, but now we got a few kids to watch. We got a few kids to pay attention to. Nothing wrong with that. I'll take it. It's exciting. Carter Jensen, where's he from? Come on.
I'm going to say he's from the Northland.
Come on.
He didn't go to St. Pius.
No.
Park Hill.
Yeah. Yep. How about that?
That's fantastic. Hometown kid.
Right. So you got to root for him even more.
Third round pick.
I'll try to do my walking on their track. He walked on that track as well. Coincidence? I think not. So you unearthed something about one of the Colorado players that you'd like to share with everyone as Kansas takes on Colorado tonight right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
I was just trying to scout Colorado a little bit.
Jake, you might be interested in this one. The way he pronounces this. You might want to dump it, but we'll see.
I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
Aren't you? Have you not watched Colorado play?
I have watched them play.
Okay.
I watched them play Kansas,
You probably know already then.
I didn't have the volume on the day I was watching them, so one of their leading scorer in their game, they just beat Baylor 76-74, and their leading scorer was Andre Jakimovsky.
That's not his name.
That's what
You liar.
Andre. That's what that's what it says. I couldn't stop giggling. I'm
Yeah,
such a child.
is that right?
He's got a beautiful stroke.
Let me take a look at this.
He had 17 points. He led the team in scoring. You know, at a school like Baylor, I don't know how they feel about a guy like Andre Jakimovsky.
I don't know how else you would say it, really.
I mean, it looks
Drake,
like,
how else would you say it?
looks.
Listen, I'm gonna spell it to you. We're gonna be fair here. If that's his name, that's his name.
Right.
I mean, you can't.
We've all, yeah.
JAKIMOVSKI.
Could be Yakimovsky. But
I don't want it to be. That's almost good.
He's from
Yakimovsky.
Macedonia. I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know how you pronounce the J in Macedonia. If it's a Yakimovsky or
Right.
Jakimovsky.
Yeah.
He's got a hell of a stroke.
Where's your brother at? Oh, he's in the bathroom. Oh, Jakimovsky. No. That's a hell of a nickname.
That was my nickname.
Yeah.
in high school.
Yeah. Oh, Colonel Jakimovsky over there. Well, I bet that kid went through hell when he got there.
You know, but like in Macedonia, that might not mean anything. You know what I mean? It might
I bet it means a lot in Boulder.
There's a lot of guys that are like, hey, I can identify, man. So
Yes,
yeah,
he's one of my favorite players now.
active hands. You know, they want players with active hands, and
Let's see.
you have to assume that he's got active hands.
If I was Colorado, I'd put it out there like how you pronounce it. I'd make sure that people.
Right? They probably have a pronunciation guide in their game notes or something.
Well, I'm looking. Oh, here we go. He was at Washington State before? Okay. Andre Yakimovsky.
So it's Yakimovsky.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yakimovsky. Yeah.
Not how it's with the way when you
Yeah.
look at it on paper.
That's unfortunate.
You think
Still works, though.
Like when he moved here, do you
Yeah.
think somebody was like, "Hey, by the way, let's just go ahead and call it. Let's just say Yakimovsky."
You think his teammates call him that? I doubt it.
How do you say your name?
I'm going to need Greg Gurley to pronounce that tonight on the broadcast. I'm going to be sure to text him right before game time. Don't mess this one up. Greg, wasn't that your nickname when you played at Kansas?
Yeah,
Greg Jakimovsky? I hope he's listening. He's probably not. Whatever.
I mean, it sounds like a made-up name from the, like my old neighborhood.
Right.
You know,
Right. Well,
a lot of Polish guys in my neighborhood. You know, we got Ronnie Kaminsky. We got.
well, we'll lock in. Another reason to
Yeah.
listen to the game tonight right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.